You've got these brilliant people on your team, right? You've got a strategic roadmap you all believe in. So why does it always feel like your team is just buried in reactive work, never quite getting to the big projects that are supposed to build the future?
Well, the root of this frustration is often something I like to call the one-speed trap. It's this super common but deeply flawed idea of managing your entire technology operation as if it's all one thing. You're basically trying to run three completely different businesses with a single playbook, and honestly, it just leads to chaos.
And the symptoms of this trap, they're not just buzzwords on a slide. You feel this stuff every day. It's your top developer, the one who should be building your next killer feature, getting pulled away to reset someone's password. It's that weekly planning meeting where, surprise, surprise, a flood of urgent support tickets just blows up any hope of a strategic conversation. And the result? Burnout, missed deadlines, and that nagging feeling that you're just treading water. This quote just hits the nail on the head. We lump all this different work together, support, operations, development, and then we completely fail to manage it in a way that respects how different it is. You know, it's like asking a Formula One pit crew to also run the assembly line back at the factory using the exact same process. It's never going to work. So, how do we get out of this mess? We need a new way to think about it, a new mental model. So let's get into the solution, the three-speed framework. It's a surprisingly simple and elegant way to bring some real order to all that chaos. And the core idea is simple, but it is so profound. Stop thinking about IT ops as a single team. Instead, start leading it for what it really is. Three separate, distinct functions that each have their own rhythm, their own goals, and their own needs. And this table just lays it out perfectly. First, you've got your operations team. Think of this as your factory. This is all the predictable, high-volume work like running backups or patching servers. The goal here is pure efficiency. How can we do it cheaper and faster? Second, you have support. This is your help desk. This work is unpredictable, it's driven by your users, and the goal is all about responsiveness and customer satisfaction. And finally, you have development. This is your project team, and they are focused on creating brand new value. Success for them is all about delivering on time and on budget. So here's the bottom line. You can't manage a factory, a help desk, and a special projects team with the same metrics and the same mindset. It just doesn't work. Now, what's really cool is that once you see the world this way, it gives you a powerful lens for making smarter decisions, like with outsourcing. That factory work, the predictable, repeatable stuff, that is a perfect candidate for outsourcing. Same goes for some specialized development projects. But your support function, the one that relies on deep context and relationships with your users, that's way trickier to outsource, and this model makes it crystal clear why. Just look at the transformation this brings about. You go from the chaos on the left, blurred roles, constant firefighting, a one-size-fits-all process, to the beautiful clarity on the right. You've got distinct functions, management that's actually tailored to the type of work, and metrics that finally make sense for each team. This isn't just shuffling boxes on an org chart. It's a fundamental shift in how you operate. Okay. The theory sounds great, but how do you actually make this happen in the real world? This is my favorite part, because now we get into the practical, step-by-step playbook for leaders. Your first moves are pretty straightforward. Step 1, audit. Just sit down and categorize all the tasks your team is currently doing. Is it factory work, help desk work, or project work? Step 2, differentiate. Your processes need to match the work. A change request for a new feature needs a different process than a password reset ticket. And finally, step 3, specialize. This is all about building firewalls to protect your teams. Maybe you set up a dedicated support rotation so your senior developers aren't constantly getting interrupted. You have to protect their focus so they can do what you hired them to do. Build. And if you want a powerful metric to see if this is working, start tracking your unplanned work percentage. Ask yourself, what percentage of my development team's time is being eaten up by unplanned support or ops issues? If that number is 30 or 40%, think about what that's costing you. Because at that point, you don't really have a development team anymore. You've got a very, very expensive and probably very frustrated help desk. And look, this isn't just some academic theory. Let me tell you a quick story about a real company. It was a mid-sized software firm, and their one tech ops team, which did literally everything, was completely burning out. So the CTO decided to try this exact model. So what happened? By creating dedicated operations and support functions, they were finally able to protect their development team from all those constant interruptions, and the result was absolutely staggering, a 50% increase in how often they could release new features. That is the kind of massive business impact we're talking about. It all comes from operational clarity. Getting that kind of impact is totally achievable for you too. And it all starts with one simple step. So let's wrap up with your Monday morning action. One question you can use to get this whole conversation started. Here it is. In your very next team meeting, just ask this one question. Where are we being pulled between predictable factory work and unpredictable support work? That's it. That one question will open the floodgates. It'll get your team thinking about the different hats they're wearing, and it will immediately highlight where the biggest points of friction are. And that really just leaves us with one final, crucial question for you to think about. I want you to take a really hard look at your organization and ask yourself, are my developers actually protected so they can innovate and build the future? Or have they accidentally become my most expensive help desk? The answer to that question will tell you exactly how urgently you need to start thinking in 3 speeds.